Well, hello everyone, and welcome to AJ111 Criminal Procedure. My name is Tony Farrar, and of course, I am your instructor for this semester. Today's lecture is going to cover the syllabus review, and when we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and jump into the actual course Canvas shell so you can see where things are at and learn a little bit on how to navigate and see how the course is actually laid out. So we're going to talk about it a little bit first, and then again, when we're finished, we'll actually go into the course Canvas and you can see how things look. So with that being said, we have a lot of information to cover. So let's go ahead and jump right into our syllabus review lecture. So once again, AJ111 Criminal Procedure, the section number is 3472. This is, of course, the spring 2021 semester. I have my information here for you along with my email and my Twitter account information. I've also posted a couple of cool websites or links here for you. The first is to the MSJC Criminal Justice Club Facebook page if you want to know a little bit more about them and what they're doing. And then also to the career education website, where if you need any further information on career ed, or you want to perhaps hook up with a counselor or make an appointment, etc., you can go to that website. That would be the career ed homepage, and it'll tell you exactly how to do that. Now, I typically work out of the Menifee campus, so my office is located within the 3000 building. Actually, the number is 3003, and you can see that I have on-campus office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. However, because we are 100% online, office hours will be online, virtual via Zoom on Wednesday evenings from 6 to 7 p.m. I will send out a link at the beginning of the semester that you can hang on to that will provide you access to my meeting room for office hours. And that's a good opportunity while it's not mandatory. If you have questions, issues, etc., or you're just bored and you want to talk, I will be there. And trust me, I can talk your ear off. So enough about office hours. Now, if you need to talk to me individually, you can make an appointment. The best way to get in touch with me is by email. And if you do email me, please use this format. Place AJ111 3472 Criminal Procedure and your last name, or your first name is okay, but your last name would be better, in the subject line of the email. So here's an example using my name for our AJ111 4372, and hello everyone, and welcome to AJ111 Criminal Procedure Online. My name is Tony Farrar, and of course I am your instructor for the spring 2021 semester. So this is going to be our syllabus lecture, and once we've completed the syllabus lecture, I'm going to take you into the actual course Canvas so you can get an idea of how the class is laid out. So we have a lot of information to cover, so let's go ahead and just jump right in, okay? So if you're following along, we'll start at the top again, AJ111, Criminal Procedures. The section number is 3472. This is the spring 2021 semester. I have my information here, along with my email, my Twitter account information. I've also got a couple of interesting links. The first one is to the MSJC Criminal Justice Club Facebook. So if you're interested in knowing what they are all about, you can join their Facebook page and you can find out. I also have a link to the main page for the career education website. So should you need additional information on career ed, or you need to figure out how to make an appointment with a career ed counselor, this would be a great place for you to start. My office is in the 3000 building. I teach typically out of the Menifee campus. The room number for my office is 3003, and I have on-campus office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. However, because we are fully online, office hours will be virtual via Zoom, and I will hold those in my meeting room on Zoom on Wednesday evenings from 6 to 7 p.m. And I will send out a Zoom link at the beginning of the semester. Hang on to that link because that'll be your access code basically to get into office hours. And while these aren't mandatory, it's a great opportunity for us to get together and just talk, or you can discuss whatever issues, problems, or any other information that you need. So a good opportunity. Now, if you need to meet with me individually, I'm also available at other times by appointment. Just send me an email. That's the best way to contact me. If you do email me, please place AJ111 3472 criminal procedures and your name in the subject line of the email. And here's an example for you to look at. And the reason for that is because of the fact that I teach several classes. This really is the best or most efficient way to make sure that I know who you are and what class you're in. Now, with that being said, all emails should be sent from your MSJC email account. Please do not use your home, your work, or any other personal email. Now, if you are requested to submit a written assignment in Canvas, which the answer to that is yes, you will, this semester, please do me a favor and submit the assignment in Microsoft Word, or make your document a PDF document. If you send a document in another type of word processing format, like WordPerfect or Pages or Keys, or if you send it via Google Docs, there's no guarantee that I'm going to be able to open it. The system won't read it, and it won't open it. And if I can't open it, I can't read it. If I can't read it, I can't grade it. And if I can't grade it, I can't give you credit or points for it. So please upload the assignment as instructed in the assignment areas directly into Canvas, not through Google Docs, etc. And again, Microsoft Word or a PDF document is the preferred method to do that. So thank you very much on that. And then finally, if you do not know how to set up your email, it's very important that you do that. So please contact the college help desk for assistance in doing that. Okay, down at the bottom of the page, talk a little bit about the syllabus. This is a living document and therefore subject to change during the semester. Typically, I don't like to change things, and a lot of times I won't, but you never know. And if I do make a change, you will be made aware of that change when it occurs in the form of an email or an announcement via Canvas. Thus, another reason to make sure that you get your email up and running, and also set up whatever electronic device you use to keep track of things to be able to receive those notifications in a timely fashion. If you have any questions about the course, please email me, or you can post the information on the general discussion board. And when we get to the end of this lecture and we jump into the course Canvas shell, I will show you where that's at. With that said, all assignments and due dates are in this syllabus. Therefore, it is your responsibility to read and follow them. And not only is this information in the syllabus, it's in this video lecture that I'm doing, and it's also posted in your course Canvas. And along with that, there's a very cool calendar in your course Canvas to help you keep track of assignments. So with that said, I'm going to help you a little bit. I will send out reminders, but please note that it's not my responsibility to continually remind you of due dates or tests or quizzes or when your term paper needs to be in, because all of that information is contained in those 3 areas that I just talked about, okay? All right, so what exactly is this course going to entail? Well, criminal procedure is a very broad category, which means that there's a lot of content in this class. The course is going to examine criminal procedure all the way from the beginning, from an arrest to the final adjudication, meaning the disposition of a case. We're going to look at the principles of constitutional, federal, state, and civil laws. That's a lot when you guys think about it. And we're going to do that in a way, we're going to kind of look at how they apply to law enforcement. So we'll talk about a lot of unique things. An example that kind of comes to mind would be search and seizure and the importance of the Fourth Amendment, etc. So we're also going to focus on the procedural aspects of the court system, all the way from the first appearance in court, the arraignment, through the preliminary hearing, jury selection, the trial, the jury instructions, and then finally either acquittal or the finding of guilt and sentencing, and what happens after that. And we'll talk about attorneys and things like direct and cross-examination. We're going to analyze those, and also we'll finish up about what it's like to testify in court and the importance of courtroom testimony and report writing, etc. So again, a lot of content to cover. Next, I've listed the program learning outcomes for the Administration of Justice program, and you can go through these at your leisure. I have some course learning outcomes. These are things that we hope you walk away with. And then I have some course learning objectives. These are some things that we really want to touch on as we go through each one of the chapters this semester. I have the textbook here for you. So the title is Criminal Procedure. It's the 3rd edition. It's a Sage Publishing textbook, and I have the ISBN number there. And this is a fabulous book, you guys. There is a newer version. There is a 4th edition. You don't need that one. The 3rd edition is fine. If you get the 4th, that's okay, but I would try to get the 3rd, and it's probably less expensive as well. Now, you can pick up this book at the San Jacinto or the Menifee bookstores, or I'm sure that most of you have your favorite place to get your textbooks, whether it's Chegg or Amazon, whether it's an ebook or whether you rent. I really want to give you the 30-second pitch for the textbook. Because this subject has so much information, so much content, it's very difficult for me to squeeze everything in a weekly chapter, everything that's in the chapter. So having the textbook will allow you to not only learn theory and key terms and things like that, but it will help add context to a lot of the things that we're just going to touch on, because we can't touch on everything in depth or we'll never make it through the chapters. So hopefully that makes sense. So that's my 20 to 30 second pitch for getting the textbook. And I think it will really help you be successful, whether it's the hard copy book or whether it's an ebook. Okay, so moving on. I have here the penal code. This is not a primary textbook, but we are going to be looking at this book from time to time. If you don't have a copy of the penal code, and honestly, most people don't, you can access the information online, so don't go out and buy one. I've got a link to a website called legalinfo.gov, which has all of the related California codes. So you can just go there and you can look up the codes. Okay, now here's a really important part. So I know you've all been paying attention, but here's you need to pay attention even more, because we're going to talk about the importance of the course check-in. All right, so just really quick, the way that my courses are structured, they run in weekly modules. So the modules typically run from Mondays to Sundays. They open on Monday morning at 8 a.m. and the module closes the following Sunday at 11 p.m. Now, everything you need to work on during that week, with a couple of exceptions, it's going to be within those weekly modules. Okay? Now, the issue this semester is the first day of the semester usually would be a Monday, but Monday's a holiday. So just for week 1, all the others are going to be as normal. But week 1, our course is going to open on Tuesday, the 19th at 8 a.m. because Monday is a holiday. And again, You're going to have until Sunday the 24th at 11 p.m. to complete this course check-in. Well, what is the check-in? Well, here you go. It's checking in using discussion board number 1, and this is all in week 1 in the orientation module. That's week 1. So you're going to check in using the discussion board as your official check-in, and as the second part of the check-in, you're going to complete a short 10-question syllabus quiz. You have to do both, otherwise you have not checked into the class. The reason I say that is that failing to complete both parts, that check-in process, is going to result in you being dropped from the class. And that's not because I'm mean, it's because that typically there's a wait list for the course, and I'm going to have to go down to the wait list, and whoever is first on the wait list is going to be lit into the course because you didn't check in. So hopefully that makes sense, okay? So again, very, very important. Next, let's talk a little bit about the course guidelines and some expectations. So this is a somewhat fast-paced class with a lot of reading and information that I'm going to give to you. I'm going to provide it to you weekly. There's a lot of stuff, okay? So with that said, you need to keep up with everything. Keep up with the readings. Don't just rely on the PowerPoint lectures to get you through the class. There's a lot of, or there might be some legal terms that at first might be difficult to understand because you've never heard them before. And because of that, you're going to need to, another plug for the textbook, you're going to use that textbook and read the chapters to fully understand what we're talking about and to add some context to the subject matter and then be able to apply it. That textbook also has a lot of good little case studies that help you understand some of the concepts. So again, another quick plug for the book. Now, in some cases, you might also have to look up a word or a term on the internet in the penal code or in a law dictionary, but I have those links for you either in the syllabus or in your course canvas, so you don't have to go around searching for all that. At the end of the day, if you have a problem with any concept or anything in the class, let me know and I will discuss it in the discussion area, the general discussion area in our course canvas, okay? So it's not an easy class. It's going to require some work on your part if you want to do well, and I really hope that your goal is to do well. However, when it's all said and done, this class will be very rewarding from all of the information and all of the knowledge that you're going to gain. And I really hope, again, your goal is to do well in the course. So what are some expectations? Well, some of my expectations would be that you would participate and complete a variety of different things that will help you achieve those learning objectives that we saw on the first page or two of our course syllabus. So let's go through these really quick. Number one would be to read all of the materials or review them, the PowerPoints, the lecture notes, articles, and yes, your textbook chapters. Number two would be to review the weekly videos relating to each chapter, the PowerPoints with the audio. So the audio lectures, and I do those every week. Any case study videos. Every chapter has an introduction, and there's going to be a little bit of like a paragraph or two to read, or an article, or a video. Make sure you look at all of that stuff. Don't just skip through. Number three, participate in what I call thoughtful and timely discussions. And we're going to talk more about discussions in a few minutes. Number four, complete the online matching exercise. Okay, so this is a non-graded assignment. It's more of an assessment. And it's going to help you learn key terms and definitions. On one side of the page will be key terms. On the other side will be a bunch of definitions, and your job is to match them up. That will help you study. You can take it as many times as you want, and it's not graded. Number five, completing the online and timed quizzes. Number six, completing the online and timed exams. Number seven, make sure you do the case study. And then number 8, complete the midterm writing assignment. Now, please note, and here we are at the bottom, that failure to participate in discussion boards or missing quizzes or exams or failing to turn in any other assignments or even missing a combination of these activities may cause you to be dropped from the class. Now, that doesn't mean that you missed one weekly quiz and you're going to get dropped. But if you fall off the map for 2 or 3 weeks and you haven't done any assignments, there's a very good chance you will get dropped from the class. So make sure that you complete your weekly assignments. Okay, the course that we are in is called an anytime course or asynchronous, meaning that you have a certain time period to complete assignments. During the semester, we're going to have some opportunities to meet synchronous, meaning all together online via Zoom. And when we do this, if we do, and we probably will, and there won't be many, just a few, they won't be mandatory meetings, but they will be announced well in advance to give everybody the opportunity to put it in their calendar to attend. And it's a time just to see each other's face and to talk to each other about anything, exchange information, ask questions, or cover topics related to whatever class you're in. And it's also a good time to maybe have a guest speaker. So my office hours are an example of a synchronous meeting. They're set at a certain date at a certain time, right? They're Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. So again, a synchronous meeting could be a guest speaker. So I will let you know ahead of time when that's going to happen, but I wanted to make sure that you knew the difference between synchronous and asynchronous. So with all of that said, how do you know that you're ready for online? Well, if you've taken a couple of online courses, then you're probably ready. If you've taken some of mine, then I believe you are definitely ready. You've already heard about the course expectations, but if you need a little bit more information, I have a couple of links for you to look at. The first one here is to the MSJC online learning page where they have some assessment information and expectations for you as an online learner. And then next, I also have a link to that same page, but to the video tutorials and some other related information, things like how to navigate through Canvas, how to upload a paper, etc. Also, in your week 1 orientation module, as you are going through it, you will see a plethora, I love using that word, a lot of information to help you be successful. So make sure that you don't skip through those pages, that you look through each one of the orientation pages. Okay, next up, let's talk about technology and Canvas. So first off, you are responsible for your computer equipment and internet connection independent of the college, meaning stuff on your side. And what I'm really asking you to do is to have a backup plan, to plan your coursework, to be able to accommodate some type of computer issue or other related problem. Have a backup plan. Now, just because you have an issue doesn't mean that I'm going to automatically extend an assignment date. Those will be on a case-by-case basis. So it doesn't mean that it won't happen, but it's not going to be generally done because I want you to have a backup plan. Now, if something happens on the college end, like Canvas goes down for a day or something like that, I will definitely move assignment dates, etc. Okay? But just make sure that you work on having some type of backup plan should you have some type of issue. Now, some of the more utilized functions within Canvas, we're going to take a look at those, especially if you are a first-time online student. So first of all, I need you to check your course Canvas a couple of times a week, and at minimum 2. Take the time during the orientation week to navigate around through the course shell and see where everything is, so you become a little bit more familiar with how the course is laid out. And we're going to do just a little bit of that after this lecture. But to start with, let's talk about modules. And this is important because this is where all of your weekly assignments, all of your stuff is. Remember, we do these, it's in this module format, right? So I'm going to title each module so you're going to know exactly which week the information is for. So module 1 will be titled either Unit 1 or Week 1. And I didn't say Week 1 there, but you'll be able to figure that out. So Week 1 or Unit 1 will contain all of the assignments needed to complete that 1 week, right? And that may include the audio lecture, the chapter PowerPoints, the links to videos, the articles, exams, quizzes, discussion boards, etc. And the reason for doing it this way, using these little weekly modules or units, if you will, is for you to be able to find everything for each week without having to click all over the place and go look for everything. Next, discussions. Well, these are important because this is where your group discussions are going to occur on the various topics. And as I stated earlier, there's also going to be a general discussion board for general questions. And a little bit more on discussions, when you go into your weekly discussion boards, make sure that you read all of the information, because I might post an article or a video or something similar to help get your brain going, to kind of stimulate you thinking or add context to what the subject matter is. Next, we have announcements. This is where you're going to find your announcements for the class, including any changes or other information I want you to know. There might be a career fair coming up, so I'm going to send that out. There might be an extra credit thing. I saw a cool thing on an article, and I want you to look at it, and I'll give you extra credit if you do it. So these are another good reason to make sure that you are set up to receive those announcements. Next would be the grade book. And here we are if you're following along. Well, this is important because that's where your grades are. And then finally, extra credit. There's a couple of things that I'll show you in the course Canvas that deal with extra credit, but this is the area where you can find the extra credit assignment. Sometimes extra credit is date specific, so you may have to, you can only do it during a certain time, etc. So make sure you take note of the dates involved. So with all of that said, and I know it's a lot, how are we going to learn it? Well, there's lectures and news articles, there's visual aids, video, PowerPoint, discussion, class participation, the written assignments, quizzes and exams, and then also you're, again, just remind you, you're always welcome to attend any of the in-class presentations from any guest speaker that I have in any online class. So if I have a cool speaker, let's say maybe a SWAT person coming to talk in this particular, in a different class, I'll make sure you are notified about that. So if you want to tune in, you can see that one as well. Okay, if you need any type of academic support, that's available online virtually through the LRC or through the help desk. And again, as you go through the orientation process, that module, you'll see a lot of information on student success, and there's a lot of resources there for you to take a look at. Also, we do have our student tutor, our AJ student tutor, coming back this semester, Rita. And when we go through the actual course Canvas shell, I will show you, she has a little module within the midterm writing assignment module where you can access her information if you want to set up an appointment with her, if you feel that you need help on writing a case study or a midterm paper or just studying. Okay, so what about, to kind of sum this part of the syllabus up, check your Canvas in your email at least twice a week for announcements. Make sure you keep track of dates, etc. It is your responsibility to monitor all of this information. Student code of conduct, the reason I put this in here is because we are going to be doing discussion boards. So please just do me a favor, just be professional, which I know that you will. Pay attention to your language. And note that we all have different opinions. Thank goodness, because if we were all the same, what a boring world this would be. It's great to learn and hear from other people. And even if you don't agree with what they say, it's nice to kind of listen to what people say and how they view different things, because this is a learning environment. That's what discussion boards are. And there's an interesting book out there that talks about this topic called netiquette, which is basically the etiquette of cyberspace, or rules for how do you behave online. There's an author by the name of Virginia Shea that's defined these issues in her book called Netiquette. And although you can't read the whole thing without getting the book, I have a link here to her core rules of netiquette. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about that. I also have here in the syllabus and in your course Canvas some very helpful websites for you to do research. One is Cornell Law. This is the Cornell Law School website. Also the link to the U.S. Supreme Court. Okay, so as we're starting to finish up, let's talk a little bit about exams and quizzes. So the quiz and exam questions will come directly from the textbook, the lecture PowerPoints, the audio lectures, the designated articles or videos. And each week you're going to have a reading assignment, a video lecture PowerPoint, a short 10-question quiz covering that corresponding chapter, and either a discussion topic or a fact or fiction topic. Now, throughout the entire semester, in addition, you'll have 3 chapter exams, a midterm writing assignment, and a case study. And then don't forget, in each weekly module is that non-graded matching exercise to help you learn the key terms relative to each chapter. A little bit more on discussion boards. These are typically reflective in nature. Therefore, they are meant to make you think about something. Perhaps think about it enough to maybe research it a little bit more on your own. Maybe even consider other perspectives that are out there and then provide a response. Now, you're going to have a total of 14 discussion boards, one for each chapter, and the course check-in. So 15 altogether. And each discussion is worth up to 10 points. It's not automatic. When responding to discussion boards, make sure that you read the information or watch the corresponding video. And, think about it, reflect on it, and then respond with a complete, well thought out response. If you want full point credit, 10 points for your response, it must be at least 5 sentences in length. If it's not, you will not get full credit. Also, don't just simply copy a response from another person. The more focused and thought out the response, the more points that you're going to receive. And if it's a technical response and you went to a certain location, website, book, whatever, if you want to put a reference in there, that's a good way to get, to really bump up your points by putting a reference on where you found your discussion response. But anyway, don't just respond with, "I agree, professor." Yeah, that's cool. I agree. Tell me what you really think. And feel free to respond or comment on another student's post, because that's how we get the discussion going. Thus the name discussion board. Now, in this context, in this framework, you can say, "I agree," and maybe tell the other student why you agree, or "I really don't agree, and here's why." But for your initial post, make sure that you meet the criteria for the full point response, okay? All right, so a couple of other assignments. I'm not going to go through each one of these in detail because the same information is located in your course Canvas. But your case study is going to be the Curtis Flowers murder case. And I've got some information there. I even have questions I want you to answer, okay, which makes it easier. And here's how you're going to write it. So here's the informational portion. I have an extra credit assignment. It's the Ronald Cotton case. An interesting, super interesting case. I've got some information on this, and I also have the questions that I want you to talk about. And here's how you can submit this case. There's a couple of different formats. The extra credit, the built-in extra credit is worth up to 15 points. But again, I will send out throughout the semester other things for you to do for extra credit. Don't bank on it. Okay, you can probably bank on it, but don't bank on it if you know what I'm saying. Okay, next up, let's just kind of summarize what we've gone through, and then let's talk about grades. So again, remember, this course follows a weekly modular format. So all of the stuff, the PowerPoints, quizzes, exams, discussions, etc., are going to be in those weekly modules or weekly units. Okay? And they're posted and available on Mondays at 8 a.m., except for week 1, because Monday's a holiday. And then all the assignments in those weekly modules are due at 11 p.m. on the following Sunday. So again, to wrap it up, as an example, this class will officially open on Tuesday, the 19th. Why not Monday? Because during week 1, Monday's a holiday. With that said, you'll have until Sunday, the 24th, to complete everything in week 1. And week 1 is the orientation. Okay, I think we got it. Now, as a general rule, there's no makeup assignments. Okay, now that doesn't mean never. That means as a general rule. And the reason is because you have 6 days to complete each of the assignments inside of those modules. Therefore, it's up to you to get that work done. And with that said, I understand stuff happens, and I like to use emergencies, but we can use stuff. And that stuff will be evaluated on a case-by-case basis, whether it's jury duty, military deployment, medical emergencies, etc. But you need to communicate with me if you have an issue. It's very, very important that you do that. All right? Please keep in mind that, again, it's your responsibility to make time to complete your assignments. One of the best ways I have found is pick out a time, a block of time during the middle of the week, not the end, okay, not the last hour before everything's due, because I can tell when you submit things the last hour. Usually the quality isn't always quite as good. But anyway, don't wait till the last minute. And finally, while I will do my best to remind you of due dates and other information, ultimately, it's your responsibility to know this already and to plan accordingly. So, helpful hints. There are 3 main issues that I see with online students that have problems. The first is the inability to keep track of due dates. Now, in your course Canvas, there's a cool calendar. And if you have a phone, put it in your calendar. So there's a lot of ways that you can do this. But you need to be able to self-pace and regulate, meaning keeping track of all of these different assignment due dates and not waiting until the last minute, okay? Second would be thinking that because there's so many little quizzes and so many little discussion boards, it's no big deal if I miss a couple here and there. Well, the reality is it really does make a difference, because missing assignments will add up quickly, and before you know it, you're behind. And then last, set up your electronic devices or device to receive notifications or other important announcements once they are sent out or posted. Okay, so before we get into grading and the actual assignments, just a little notation here. There are a couple of times during the semester that you're going to have your weekly quiz and your larger chapter exam. They're due during the same week. If that happens, make sure that you do the quiz first, because the quiz kind of will prep you for the chapter exam. Make sense? Grading scale, self-explanatory. You can see the percentages. Here are the assignments. At minimum, You'll have 3 chapter exams. Your third one is a final. You have weekly discussion boards, your check-in discussion board, your syllabus check-in, the quiz, your paper, your midterm paper, your weekly chapter quizzes, your case study, for a total of 530. And again, I'm going to fix this typo. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to do it right in front of you because I can. Your extra credit assignment is 15 points, not 30 points. And that extra credit assignment is already built into the course, and there will be others that come forward. I've got some important dates that I'm going to let you look at your leisure. If you have any issues at all with the course, and here we are if you're following along, please get in touch with me. If you need some type of accommodation, you can contact DSPS or you can contact me, and I will help you solve any problem that you have or do my best. Here I have the information on the written assignment. This is your midterm paper. This is what you're going to write about. The same information is located in the module, in a module in your course Canvas. I even give you what I want you to write about. Here's some of the directions. In Canvas, I will also have a module along with your midterm paper on how to write in APA style. It's a video lecture just like I'm doing now. So that will help you, and it's a step-by-step guide on how to cite and format your references, and how to complete your paper, etc. So don't panic on that. And we can even use office hours to talk about the paper and how it's supposed to look and how the format is. And then don't forget, we have returning this semester our AJ tutor, Rita, that can help you with any other research issues or writing issues as well. And then finally, plagiarism. Well, you all know what that means, so I'm not going to just kind of beat up on this a lot. But just understand that if you use a part of a sentence or information from a text, meaning a textbook, an article, a news story, or in a paper, without citing or acknowledging the source or using quotes, that is plagiarism, and it is completely frowned upon. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't use the information. It means that if you do use it, you need to cite your references. Okay? The best rule of thumb, if you didn't think of it yourself or it's not common knowledge, I would cite it. And if you don't know, cite it anyway. All right, enough of that, and I'll let you look down in here and you can go through these. Okay, so we've reached the end and we're going to jump into the course Canvas real quick, but here's how the weeks go. Week 1, you know, it starts on the 19th because Monday's a holiday, but we can keep this as the 18th because typically they go from Monday to Sunday. This first week is going to be your check-in, the course orientation. It's the syllabus review, the discussion board check-in, etc. Week 2 is going to be Unit 1. You're going to cover Chapter 1. You have your key term assessment exercise, you have a quiz, and you have a discussion board. And I'm going to walk you through what this looks like. So you're going to see it's a little bit more than this. There's an introduction and some other resources. They look alike, and for consistency's sake, each one of these look almost the same, right? You know, week 4 is unit or chapter 3. And it's to help you remember that this is kind of what's due. Now, let's jump down here to week 6. Week 6 is unit or chapter 5. You have your PowerPoint lecture. You have the key terms for chapter 5. You have your quiz and your discussion board for chapter 5. But look, you have your first chapter exam that covers chapters 1 through 5. That's why I told you, remember, if these two end up on the same day, during the same week, do the quiz first. All right? Consistency all the way down, it looks the same. All right, so now we're going to jump into the course Canvas real quick. And I'm going to readjust this screen. This view is the instructor view, so you may not see everything that I see. But on the left-hand side will be your navigation bar. You won't have as many links as I do, but that's okay. But when you log into the class, you should log into this page. This is where you should end up. talks a little bit about the class. There's a video, the course description, the learning outcomes, information about me. Yes, I went to Cambridge. We'll talk about that. And then a little information on Canvas. Now, to start your orientation, you can go to modules, but the easiest way is click Start Here. And that's going to take you to, and I'm going to slide this over so you can see it, to the orientation. You see up here in the upper left in red, a quick little 2 or 3 minute video, some information on how to be successful. Down at the bottom right, I want to make sure you can see that next button. Let me kind of center this back up. If you click that next button, you'll be able to basically move to the next page and go through the orientation. So you have information about me and what I've done a little bit, how to get started, to begin the orientation, etc. The required materials, information on the textbook, and a couple of videos that if you're interested in watching. The, Quest for Success, the student guide for Canvas. How to get started, again, office hours, general questions, late assignments, etc. All of this information is there to help you be successful. How much time should I really be spending on this class? You'd be surprised. It's a little more than you think. But anyway, study skills, note-taking, how to outline a chapter, information on the library, how to do research. Don't forget the information on Rita, okay, our AJ tutor. A little bit more on Netiquette if you're interested in that. How to set up your profile and adjust your notifications, etc. So a lot of good, helpful information. Here's where the course syllabus will be. I haven't posted it yet, nor have I posted this video yet. Because I'm doing this lecture a little bit early. But yes, this is me in my It's in the Syllabus shirt because yes, it is in the syllabus. So here you will find a copy of the syllabus in a PDF version and also this video that you're watching right now. And then as we continue to move through, here's your discussion board. This is the check-in. It's all in the module, so you don't have to click around and try to figure out where it is. Here's your syllabus quiz, okay? And then I have some other support services should you need help. There's all of this information for you. And then finally, you're done. And every module will say congratulations at the end when you've gone through it. Now, when we talk about a modular view, this is what it looks like. If you click on modules, this is the home page that we were just at. Here's the orientation, week 1. We went through all of these pages. I have a module, a separate module for how to log into Zoom, information on the Criminal Justice Club, some cool websites, the Bill of Rights. If you don't know about the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, you need to know that for this class. I've got them all right here for you. So you can look at this module and go all the way through. If you want to know a little bit about the court systems, I have the different court systems and some videos inside. You click on these and it opens up into some other information. So this is good, important information, especially for this class. Okay, the next module is the midterm writing assignment. Here's that video lecture I talked about. This is just the PowerPoint. Here's your writing assignment, how to upload your paper. Here's the information on Rita, the AJ tutor. If you click on this, it'll tell you how to book an appointment. Here's your case study. Here's your extra credit assignment. Here's your other extra credit. So if I send something out that says, I need you to, or there's a blood drive, and if you give blood, I'll authorize extra credit. Remember, I have to send it out. Don't just go do it on your own. But what you would do is you would upload maybe a picture of you giving blood or a receipt or whatever it is to show me that you did it, and you will upload it in this particular area. So hopefully that kind of makes sense as well. All right, so the last thing I want to do is I want to show you what another module looks like. So this is week 2, chapter 1. So when you click on this, remember I told you, you get a little unit overview. So it tells you a little bit about what's going to happen in this module. And then here's a little bit more. Chapter 1 provides an introduction to criminal procedure, and this video talks about the court systems. So this is just to kind of get your brain stimulated and get you thinking. Then I have the actual video lecture for the chapter. That's what this is. If you don't want to hear me talk, here's the PowerPoint. So you've got that. So you can review both if you want. Here's the matching exercise. It's all inside of this module. Here's the chapter quiz. Here's the discussion question. Again, make sure you read the information because sometimes there's a video or here there's just a picture, but it'll ask you the questions that I want you to answer. And you post it. And then finally, now you're done with that particular module. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So that's it. And if you click on home, it'll take you back to the home page. So that's going to conclude our syllabus review video lecture. I hope it was informative. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me or post them on the general discussion board. The first week, there'll be a lot of other information coming out, so please make sure that you get your devices synced up accordingly so you get all of that information. And we'll be talking again. Feel free to also attend the office hours if you have questions as well. So with that being said, again, that concludes our syllabus review lecture for AJ111 criminal procedure, and I will talk to you soon.